8 of this Churchill AVRA, and she's coming on really well. As you can see, I've done a lot of weathering. I'm not too happy with the tracks a little bit there. I'm going to do a bit of darkening on the tracks to give it a bit more of a darker look in regards to the weathering, as you can see there. But I've actually used oils all over the tank to give it a dusty effect. Didn't want it to be too over. I've also put some rust in some of the smaller bits here in areas where I think a bit of rust would have started. So I've done that. I can see that there around. If I come around to the front, you'll see what I'm going to tracks. I don't think the tracks look too bad. In fact, there's a lot of light on there, so it makes it look worse than it is. But both tracks are slightly different. They're actually glued in place. What I did is I didn't bother joining them, because at the end I was going to have a lot of trouble trying to make sure they're 100% stuck. So what I did is I pushed them up through both ends and glued the front bits onto the actual sprocket tight by putting extra thin inside the gap. So actually sprockets don't move now, and that's good because that holds it all in place there. And I put a bit of extra thin glue inside there just to give it a bite. And of course, any weathering I do in the future would cover that up, but you can't see where I've joined anyway. The glue evaporates pretty quickly. And so I've done some dust in places all around the front. I think you can see that, and all the way around on the turret. And I've got a lot of dust. I ain't finished with the weathering yet, but this is near the end of the stage. I've got to do a bit of a different colour on the fire extinguishers on each side. I don't think they look nice as the same green. I think I'm going to take them just a sort of a shiny-ish green, a little bit of a shiny green. I'm going to have a look on that anyway. I've added a rust over this side. I think you might be able to see if I can zoom in. I don't want to move the camera. Here we go. Don't know if you can see the rust down there in a bit. It's very subdued, but it's there, and you can see. I can see it perfectly, so which is good. And you can see the mud and the tracks inside. I'm just going to move this down slightly. No, I won't. I'll do a photograph of that. It'll be easier. So I'm going to come out. I think you can come out slightly now. I think you can see the shovels have been done now. They was done in a cold colour, and which is a light colour, cold colour, and then I put some oils over the top of it just to give it a slightly yellow tint, not too heavily, but just enough to give it a wood effect onto it. The exhausts are now rusted, as you can see. I should be able to zoom in a little bit on that. There, you might be able to see that. I'll do photographs at the end of this video anyway. I'm quite happy with the results. It looks much better in a natural light than what it does in this, but it still looks the part. You can see it's that blotchy rusted. It's new rust, so the exhaust hasn't gone completely dark rust and rotting away. It's got that surface layer which we would have got anyway. And I've actually put some darker rust inside the thing just to give it a bit of a darker shadow inside the exhaust outlets as well. There you go. If I come back out again. And come round. You can see bits of weathering on the turret in the back. Oh, it's been weathered everywhere, and I've actually put some. Oh, I have to go back into the engine room. What I'm saying, the actual engine compartment, and I think you can just see some stains. Now they look much better. You can see those damp stains. That's all to do with engine grease and oil that's actually got on there, where they actually done a bit of maintenance and they've dropped stuff on it, and it's just still wet at the moment. So we've done that, and you can see that's on there a bit. If I can come down a bit lower, I don't know if I can get this any lower. Yep, that's it. I think you can see it better now. You can see all these bits and pieces. I'll use a pointing stick really. I'll use this brush. Basically, you can see over here they've got the engine bits of oil there. All around this bit as well, a bit of engine grease and oil around where they had some maintenance. So it's on the actual vehicle. I think you can see quite well. Really, it looks quite nice on this thing. But I'm quite happy with, as I said before, I've done dust everywhere, and I used the oils for that, and very thinly, and then manipulated it and moved it around over the surface. I've even done some under the turret, which I think is a bit too heavy, so I'm going to take that turret off later on and do it. But that's at the front of the vehicle. But I think you can see the effect I've got. Now, the tracks, as far as I'm concerned, they put them on there and they sprayed them the same colour as the vehicle, and then I've put a bit of surface rust, which you might just be able to make up on there to give it a little bit of as it is starting. And there you go. I think you can see the rust a little bit better on there. It looks better in natural light, but there you go. Going around again. I'm going to zoom back out now. And there you go. So that's what she looks like now. So I'm going to pull it around and put this camera back into the position I want it. There you go. There you go. And so I'm really pleased with it. It's coming on nicely, but as I said, I'm not finished. I'm going to get some more rust around the road wheels a little bit more. Not rust, mud and a bit more heavily impacted dust. I think you can see underneath the turret, you can just see a slight bit there. Bit of turpentine to get that off there, lovely. I've even took, by the way, I took the block off this side because it wasn't meant for this vehicle. It's not meant to be there, so I took it off. Luckily I only pin glued it on there anyway, and now you can see I've dirted up inside there as well. The reason being is this bit which I'm working on at the moment, on and off, is got to go on there, and I couldn't fit it over the periscopes, because if you put the top part of the periscopes on them, you can't actually get this to fit properly, and it didn't even fit well without them. So I've actually made a modification, put little slits, as you can see, just there, to do it. Now I may not use this in the kit because I might not even build the bundle now. The reason because the bundle won't go wasted, because I've got the bridge layer version, this one where there's a resin bridge. Well, that actually got a low quality photographs with that actually having it on there when it dropped it into a ditch and then put the bridge over it. So it's quite a few things. So it's quite. You can see the bit of rust underneath there. That's a bit heavy, but I don't know. It might look alright. I might just dab it a little bit. But anyway, but I think you can see she's looking quite nice. And you can see the rust all along there as well. And I'm gonna tone it down with a bit of paint around the outsides. But I'm still quite happy with that, because all the brackets would have got rusty anyway because the exhaust is attached to them. So that's what I've done. So anyway, I'm not finished with the weathering, so that's the end of this quick update. I'll swing her back round to her best side, as I like to call it. There you go. And there she is. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Happy modelling!